My name is Mike Slack, and I want to congratulate you on setting up your charitable organization as a nonprofit under the laws of your state and receiving tax-exempt status by filing for and receiving that exemption from the IRS using Form 1023. Obtaining tax-exempt status can be a difficult process, and now that you've obtained it, you want to make sure that you keep it. It is important to know how to maintain the tax-exempt status. Tax-exempt means that your organization doesn't pay federal income tax, but it does not mean that you're free from return filing and other obligations. Also, if you have employees, you have the same withholding, deposit, and reporting responsibilities that a for-profit company with employees has. In other words, you are not exempt from payroll tax requirements. Most small organizations need only to file Form 990N, aka the e-postcard. The card asks for only 8 basic pieces of information and can be filed if your small exempt organization has average gross receipts of $50,000 or less. So even if your organization had more than $50,000 in gross receipts this year, you may still qualify to file Form 990N if your average is $50,000 or less for the last 3 years. For new organizations that are less than 3 years old, you qualify if average receipts are $75,000 or less in the first year, or $60,000 or less in the first 2 years. This postcard is due by the 15th day of the 5th month after the close of the organization's year, typically May 15th for calendar year organizations. There is no penalty for not filing the e-postcard, but if you don't file the e-postcard or other exempt return for 3 consecutive years, your tax-exempt status will be automatically revoked. Organizations not eligible to file the e-postcard must instead file the long Form 990 return, or if eligible, the short Form 990EZ return. The 990 return is a 12-page return with an alphabet soup of possible schedules to go with it. Schedules are needed to provide a host of supplemental information about the organization, such as compensation of officers, public support, non-cash contributions received, political activities, and much more. The 990EZ is a mere 4-page return with somewhat fewer schedules but still no picnic to complete. This return is due by the 15th day of the 5th month after the end of the organization's year. You can request an automatic 3-month extension by filing Form 8868 and the second non-automatic 3-month extension by filing the 8868 form again. However, this time you must show reasonable cause for the second extension. Failure to file could result in penalties of $20 per day up to 5% of gross receipts with a maximum $10,000 penalty. Large organizations with gross receipts of $1 million or more are subject to higher penalties. Just as with the e-postcard, failure to file for 3 consecutive years results in automatic revocation of tax-exempt status. Certain churches do not have an annual filing requirement. You should see the Form 990 instructions if you are not certain about your filing responsibilities. Good luck and stay tax-exempt.